your pants off, Quite People. It's time for the Quite Frankly Wrap-Up Show. Coming to you live from a secret dungeon studio in Port Chester, New York. Once again, Codeman.
Oh, good day, Franklies! Welcome to the Quite Frankly Wrap-Up Show, where we talk about all the things that happened on Quite Frankly this week. My name is Cody. Let's get right into it, shall we? Frank was heating things up. Frank showed us a prime example of some hard-hitting investigative journalism on Monday's A New York State of Decline.
But here's a little fun stuff out of San Francisco. They're upset that a lot of people went out to the beaches on a hot summer day. Listen to this.
But it looks like everyone had the same idea this weekend, especially in San Francisco. KPIX5's Betty Yu tells us.
KPIX5's Mortal Kombat character is out there on the beach right now.
Tonight, well after the sun went down, we still found people here soaking up the cooler temperatures, and you can hear music in the distance.
Hey, Betty, how about you take off the stupid square mask and go out there and hang out around one of the bonfires on the beach and enjoy the music?
Get over here!
You wish.
On Tuesday's episode, The Democrats, Silent Disco, and Energy Medicine, Frank was joined by guest Glenn Streeter. But before Glenn came on, Frank took a look at this article from the Daily Caller.
Now, Daily Caller said, hey, the Democrat Party forgot to turn off comments of its own convention live stream. And some of the stuff they got through was just amazing. Then they finally turned it off. The only reason why I kept this article is because of one comment. It's right there by a guy named Melky. Melky says, don't wear a mask. Fauci said it is actually gay. And I can hear Fauci saying it. Don't wear a mask. Don't wear a mask. It's gay. No, you look really gay. Don't wear the mask. That's why I love the internet.
Wait, Fauci said what? Man, these mask mandates are confusing. Sexually confusing. And now, founder of EnergyMedFit.com, Glenn Streeter.
Well, if Trump wins, the left is going to go apeshit, and if Trump loses, the right wing is going to go apeshit. That much is probably etched in stone. I mean, we're already in a civil war. Can we be honest about that?
Yeah.
So the target is quality people. So those of us of quality and service to others and neighborliness have to stick together right now and start to prep for these things because things are not going to get better right now.
You can find out more about Glenn Streeter and his products at EnergyMedFit.com. Wednesday's episode, Patton's Warning and Trauma-Based Schooling. Frank interviewed guest Dr. Sean Brooks.
One of the ironies of all of this is that K-12 schools have fought for decades against school choice and online learning, and they just created both without even knowing it. They just created the two things that they've worked so hard to discourage and never even do, and they did it almost overnight. So now they can't get rid of it, which means what? Are they just going to delete those programs and say, well, we can't do that anymore? They might. But again, they can't get rid of it now. It's too good of an option. I would always just take dangerous freedom over peaceful slavery any day of the week.
You can check out some of Dr. Sean Brooks' books wherever fine books are sold. Thursday's episode, Clown World Supreme. Rob joined Frank in studio and they discuss the DNC convention.
And it was horrifying. I mean, it was so bad. It was embarrassing. You know, if you could remove the fact that they are subverting our country and looking to take us right down the drain and destroy our way of life, it would be so hilarious. The gay vampire dude at the end with Stephen Stills, I was dying.
Exactly.
Oh my God, it was hysterical.
I was saying that on Monday night. To say that all of this is in the spirit of fighting racial injustice, and then to remind the country that our media is dominated by gender-bending gay black men. This is the only place on earth that you have this kind of exposure. Why do you keep beating us over the head?
Right.
You don't see the irony in this?
Friday, the DNC discussion continued for the aptly titled The Democrat National Cringe Fest.
Now, here's 31 seconds of Cory Booker doing almost like a round table with all of the other primary rejects. Listen to Cory Booker in this really,
Welcome to. You could think of this sort of like Survivor on the out interviews of all the people that got voted off the island.
he. And look at that awful smile. That awful smile. Ha ha ha. He's just straining to look like he's having a good time. Look at how they're laughing. They're, oh yeah, we all got voted off the island with a gun to our heads, all dropped out on the same night. But I see Cory Booker mediating fights between transgender dwarves on television in 20 years. Mediating fistfights, trying to break them up. And I see him doing the same paternity test that Maury Povich does on television.
You are not the father.
Morning television. I promise you, Cory Booker is going to be hosting a morning television show in 20 years.
The main streaming service cut things short in the middle of the show on Friday, so in case that happens, make sure you got a backup such as DLive, Periscope, or Twitch. Oh, what a week it was! Well, it's that part of the show where we like to go back to last week's wrap-up show and we look at some of the best comments on a segment we call Comments of the Week! All right, here are some of the great comments we had. Now, Jeff Stewart was the winner of last week's comment of the week. He says, Cody, my copy of Sleepless in Seattle arrived today. Your performance was exactly what I expected. I laughed until I stopped, and I laughed again. Thank you. I will treasure it always. Wow, Jeff Stewart, thank you. You know what? I'm going to send you a duplicate copy of my hit film, Sleepless in Seattle. Darling USA says, this was a sad Sunday night, until I remembered you, weekly wrap-up show. Now I can go to sleep with a smile on my face. How do you do what you do? So funny, I literally LOL'd XOXO. Well, till next week. Thank you, Darling USA. You are definitely a darling in the USA. Bill Whitmer Film says, whoa, didn't realize these wrap-ups were so good. Well done, Cody. Oh, and off, King. I don't think that's what he said. Edit. And, the French-Canadian thing. The worst guy, actually second worst, at my 3D VFX job was this French-Canadian. Oh my God, so bad. Oh, hey, those French-Canadians, what can I say? Sam Wise says, Kamala Harris goes downtown on Willie Brown. That's a proven fact. Oh, Fuku Pal says, I don't know if I can say that word. IV says, the weekly wrap-up shows are great. I can't stand the dude that's doing the presenting. He's pretty annoying, in my humble opinion. Wait a minute. And Cab0257 says, that was absolutely great. Laughing my ass off. Literally had to put it back on, Franklies and crew. Well, Cab0257, you are the winner of this week's Comment of the Week! All right, well, we'll get a new ass to you sent right in the mail. And now it's time where we take a look at some of the best calls of the week.
Let's take some calls. Calls like that. Taking all of your calls. Calls like this just make me feel amazing.
Hit it!
Captain Liberty, how you doing?
I know how to stop all of the kneeling before ball games and sporting events.
How?
Very simple. The fans in the stand just before the national anthem, or even before the player introductions, if they decide not to play the anthem, need to start a chant. And the chant is, kneel, slaves, kneel. Kneel, slaves, kneel.
Oh, yeah.
Kneel, slaves, kneel. And I think if the crowd chants that a few times at a few different events, you won't see anyone kneeling anymore.
I once thought about something like that. I said, if I were the announcer guy at Madison Square Garden or something like that, I would love to do one night, everybody please rise, sit, or kneel to honor the flag. And no matter what you're doing, you're honoring the flag. What do? You gotta play mind games with people now. I like the idea that you put on out there. More importantly, we're seeing it in the ratings. It's great to hear from you, Captain. What's going on, Airborne 99?
So, everybody on Twitter is making fun of Michelle Obama and this whole trans thing. I thought it was interesting. Do you know that? After Joan Rivers said that Barack Obama was the first gay president.
And do you think that the country will see the first gay president or the first woman president?
We already have it with Obama, so let's just calm down.
And Michelle Obama was the first, trans first lady.
No, Michelle is a trans.
I'm sorry, she's a what?
A transgender. We all know.
Oh my gosh.
That
she died.
Yeah, she in a routine procedure, and then Barack Obama sends a handwritten note to Melissa saying, she's in our thoughts. That was really, really strange.
I didn't know about the handwritten note.
Yep, I got the article pulled up right here, the Washington Post.
Oh, Washington
President
Post.
And handwritten note condolences after Joan Rivers' death. Like, that's crazy. I mean, that's a message.
Jason from Orlando, what's going on, Jason?
We got to talk about deep fakes, man. And this Zoom convention. You can't tell me that was actually Hillary on there. She looked a little too young. Like, I don't know, maybe they shaved off 5 years off of her face, or, like you guys are saying, somebody else was playing a character on there.
Seeing the humanity in a child ripped from her parents at the border, or a protester calling for justice.
There's a lot of weathermen and weatherwomen out there saying that there's a storm on the horizon. There's got to be a day that the storm hits home.
I know.
St. Michael Sasquatch. What's going on, Sasquatch?
Throughout the world, having our magnetosphere,
oh God,
it's like diminishing incredibly. Bro, you're awesome. You're so friggin' awesome.
Thanks, Sasquatch. You're very, very kind to me, and I hope all the best for you for the rest of the night. Okay. Later.
I love you.
All right. Okay, that was very sensual at the end. That sounded very sensual.
Oh, God.
Shredder, what's going on, Shredder?
Man or woman, Michelle Obama, she's just gay, dude.
We just become part of the ugly noise that's drowning out everything else.
So gay.
Yeah.
They're done being nuanced about it. They're just gay.
But on matters of character.
Oh. He wins 2020, God willing. The hammer needs to fall.
Cut! You are under arrest. You have the right to remain silent.
So I'm ready, man. Let's just go.
I'm ready too. It's like everything else this year. We have to go through, so let's go through.
Ready your breakfast and eat hearty. But tonight, we dine in hell!
To hell with it.
Those were some great calls. Well, now it's my favorite part of the show where I get to take your calls. That's right, ladies and gentlemen. Go ahead. Call in now. The phone lines are open. The board's lighting up. I love it. You can ask me anything you want. Open calls tonight. All right, let's go to Ghostface. Ghostface, you got a question for me?
Do you like scary movies?
No, not particularly. Well, thanks for the call. Good question. Let's go to Morpheus. Morpheus, you're on the air.
Hello. Do you know who this is?
Yeah, it's Morpheus. How's it going?
Yes. I've been looking for you.
Well, I'm right here.
I don't know if you're ready to see what I want to show you.
Gross.
But unfortunately, you and I have run out of time. They're coming for you, and I don't know what they're going to do.
Okay, well, that's cryptic as always. Thanks for the call, Morpheus. You know what? Let's go to something a little less creepy. Liam. Liam, you're on the air. What's on your mind?
I will find you. And I will kill you.
Okay, well, Liam, that was great. Thanks for the call. Okay, well, here's a redeemer. Okay, St. Michael Sasquatch. St. Michael Sasquatch, what's on your mind?
I love you.
Okay, you guys are creeping me out. The phone lines are closed. We're not taking any more calls. Well, that about does it for me on this week's episode of the Quite Frankly Wrap-Up Show. Be sure to head on over to quitefrankly.tv. That's your one-stop shop for all things Quite Frankly. QuiteFrankly.tv is the place to be to catch the latest episode, the latest blog entry, links to support the show on Patreon, Subscribestar, and PayPal. Check out the Reddit page over on the forum section, and head on over to the merch store. Buy yourself a t-shirt. If you like the Quite National designs, there's all kinds of them. Quite Frankly streams live weekdays at 7 p.m. Eastern wherever you get your podcasts. So until next time, thanks for watching. Goodbye!